gehabt, ja. Gut.
Simon.
Jungens.
Alles klar?
Was habe ich denn hier stehen auf meinem tollen Zettel? Medal of Honor, Allied Assault.
Ich will nicht protzen, ich will nicht übertreiben, ich will nicht irgendwie zu sehr betonen, dass wir heute
du schreibst das
vermutlich...
Auf?
Was?
Mit dem Hosenstall, dass du den immer zulässt.
Da fällt mir jetzt auch gar nichts ein. Vergiss es einfach. Ist auch egal.
Was wollte ich gerade sagen? Ich wollte sagen, ich will nicht protzen, wir haben aber trotzdem vermutlich
das fetteste Thema.
Das erste Top-Thema 2002. Überhaupt richtig...
Ihr habt es halt wirklich...
So groß, so richtig gigantisch. So ein
großer,
Thema
fetter Thema. Kasten.
Fett. Wir machen heute Medal of Honor Allied Assault mit zwei richtig netten Gästen, mit dem Rick Giolito.
Und wir haben die deutsche Vollversion.
Playtester.
Jetzt Rick Giolito oder Rick?
Giolito heißt der,
Giolito?
Also wenn du gleich ansprichst,
okay.
Ich glaub, der heißt Giolito.
Und er ist größer als du, also überlegst
größer
dir gut.
Und böser als ich, habe ich schon gesehen.
Er ist größer und böser. Und außerdem ist er...
Hübscher? Intelligenter? Eloquent?
Weiter.
Aber er ist
mach ruhig weiter.
Er ist nicht so reich.
Also an dieser Stelle nochmal ganz kurz ein Aufruf an euch. Ihr könnt nämlich mitmachen, Fragen stellen und das war's eigentlich, was ihr machen könnt. Mehr könnt ihr nicht machen. Fragen stellen.
Das aber ist ja auch mehr als in anderen
aber das ist ja auch schon mal was. Denn wie oft hat man schon die Möglichkeit, dem Rick, wie heißt er?
Giolito.
Genau, dem mal eine richtige Frage zu stellen zum Spiel und tolle Antworten zu kriegen.
Ja. Und die beiden kennen ihre Gäste aber wirklich.
Natürlich.
Bis
in- und aus.
Zum letzten Namensfetzen. So.
Wir haben heute wirklich richtig großartige Themen hier im PC-Bereich. Nicht nur auf der Seite, sondern auch in unserer Sendung. Nämlich wir haben zwei Gäste heute da. Zum einen den Rick Giolito.
How you doing, Eddie?
What's up, man?
How you doing? Nice to be
Und
here.
wir haben den Caleb von EA und der ist Quality Assurance, right? Yeah? Cool. Und my mom used to say always, if you ever meet a man dressed in black, and he has Italian last name, be very friendly.
And that's right. You better be. You don't know what's going to happen to you if you're not. I got news for you.
I know. Don Padre. So you brought Medal of Honor Allied Assault with you.
I did. I have Medal of Honor Allied Assault. It's not even out in Germany yet.
But we have actually the German version.
Yes, you do, because you're a special person.
That's so nice from you. And you will show us the game. It's pretty much finished, right?
It is done. We're just putting it in plastic and putting it on the shelves, and it's ready to go. And I hope everybody in Germany has downloaded the demos, the single-player demo that could have gotten their hands on that,
multiplayer
and the
demo?
2 multiplayer demos, and are playing as much as we are in the United States.
Okay.
So the first level we're going to show tonight is the first level of the game, which let's go. Let Her Rip takes place in Arzu in Algeria, and what we tried to do here was, none of this, pick up a gun, learn how to shoot stuff. Let's get right into it. Big bang opening.
So
and get things going.
What we see is that you focus very much on storytelling, like a movie.
Exactly. That Medal of Honor is all about living a World War II movie, and that's what this game's about. And the one thing you're going to see in this first level is one of the things we concentrated on, which is squad-based play. You know, every first-person shooter to date has been all about run and gun, one guy going through the world with his gun, shooting everything in sight. And what we wanted to do was put other characters, non-player characters with their own AI on the screen who'll work with you through the levels. You can go up in front of them, you can go just hang back and they'll help you, and they will react to the non-player, the enemies, and they'll react to what you do as well. And every time you play it, it'll be different. So check this out, this is cool.
Then there must be a huge part of your time must be invested in the KI, in the AI.
The KI?
KI would be German.
Like some sort of chicken you fry?
No,
what is that?
The KI is künstliche Intelligenz.
Oh.
Künstliche Intelligenz, it's German.
Sorry,
I meant the AI.
The AI, yes. Well, it's a lot more difficult to control. I mean, what do we have on the screen here, Caleb? Let's turn around and take a look. How many guys you got with you in your squad here? 4, 5, 6 guys? I mean, you've got to account for all these guys as they're running up, and you've got to account for all of the enemies in the level. And depending on what Caleb does, these guys are either going to, run up in front of him or hang back. And Caleb looks like he's hanging back right now because he doesn't want to get his butt shot off. But as you can see, we got to control all of this, and it's quite a big effort. And there's no game that's been done to date that has this type of gameplay in it. It's almost like multiplayer, except in single-player version.
EA sent us like 3 weeks ago. They sent us the English preview version, which we weren't allowed to show here in Germany.
Right.
But we played it, and
how much time did that suck out of your life?
Much, pretty much, and but much more from Hannes. I think he's almost through the game and he loves it. And what we said in our show when we played the single-player demo is that the game has an atmosphere never seen before on in an ego shooter before.
Correct. Well, that's one of the hallmarks of Medal of Honor and what we spend a lot of time doing. You know, we are down in Hollywood, and you know, we take what we do very seriously, and we watch a lot of films. You know, we're inspired. This game this whole franchise was created by Steven Spielberg. And so we aspire to doing games that are like living in a movie, and that includes sound, the sound effects that are done in-house, the original music that's done by Michael Giacchino that we do for each and every game, 4,000 frames of animation, the modeling, the textures. We send guys on planes over to Normandy, over to Algeria to actually take pictures so that we have texture reference. So we put all of this together. And we believe the end result is probably the deepest experience on the PC today.
Yeah. So can you say congrats to the composer, because I hum the melody every night.
Oh, do you
it's
really?
So cool, yeah.
Well, Michael has been with us from the very beginning. He does all of our music, and he's the guy who created the Medal of Honor theme, which you're humming every night. And he'll continue to do the music for us. He does a marvelous job. And you know, one of the other things we have is the music is not just a track that's playing over. The music has its own AI, and actually we're able to raise it and lower the tracks dependent upon what the player is doing, what the action is in the particular scene. So that's another cool effect that we try and add to our games to give it that depth and really make the player feel like they're part of, they've lost themselves in the experience.
Okay, one big question, of course, interesting our viewers, is the system requirements, which always comes up. Can you say something about what's the minimum specs and what you would say is the best to play with?
Well, I play on the 386. I don't know about you, but I'm only kidding.
Of course, yeah, I have the same at home, but I don't use
my laptop. I just load it up and go. Actually, the minimum spec on this is a Pentium 450, 16 meg card, 128 megs of RAM. Recommended spec, if you really want this thing to fly, is a P700 or better, 16 meg card. And 128 megs of RAM.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
What do you have at home?
I think a P3 with 900 megahertz.
Hey, he's done. Hey,
you're in it.
Hey,
you may play.
And if you don't have that, I'm going to come over and Italian guy from New York, I'll take care of you.
I have a question. You said you pretty much oriented on Saving Private Ryan or on movies like that.
Right.
And why don't make a movie from the game?
Well, we're inspired by the movies that are made, the World War II movies that we watch. For instance, Saving Private Ryan had a tremendous amount of influence on us, and I'm going to be showing the level we showed at E3 that created all that buzz, which is the D-Day level. And a lot of people have compared that to the opening of Saving Private Ryan. And our PlayStation 2 game, Frontline, is inspired by A Bridge Too Far. So we really take, the great stories of World War II have been made into movies. Now comes interactive entertainment, and we're kind of repurposing a lot of those big moments in that great conflict and bringing them to the small screen for players to enjoy in a real-time interactive experience. So it's just kind of like following up on what people have done before us.
Okay, so it will be pretty interesting to see what's the next projects, huh?
Yes, and
are there any plans on?
Absolutely.
I mean, of course there are plans,
Absolutely.
but can you say something?
I can actually tell you what it is.
Yes.
Would you like to know?
No.
We
don't have
later,
time.
Later. The next take, yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Your listeners, the viewers would like to know what we're going to do next.
Ihr wollt wahrscheinlich auch wissen.
Cool.
Er wird uns gleich verraten, was er als nächstes produzieren wird. Also kann ich nur sagen, bleibt auf jeden Fall dran. Es wird noch richtig spannend.
I hope that was good.
Wir sind zurück mit unseren Gästen und bevor wir gleich weiter einen Blick auf Medal of Honor werfen, müssen wir ganz kurz sagen, dass Rick nämlich Schauspieler ist. Ja? You're actually not only producer, you're an actor.
Well, no. I'm an executive producer. In a former career, I was an actor, and I happen to be married to an actress right now.
Okay, first question, where did you act?
I acted in New York. I acted all around the United States. Some of the things I was in was...
Was there perhaps like a TV show with mysteries or something like that?
Yeah, it started with a T and ended with an S.
Oh.
Twin Peaks, yes.
Twin Peaks?
Yes.
No way. You must be kidding me.
No, I played Montana on the show within the show.
Montana, who doesn't know Montana? The great Montana.
Invitational Love. I played Montana on Invitational Love, which was a soap opera within the show. We had a great time doing it. Yeah, on Twin Peaks. And then I've done did a bunch of TV and stuff like that. But I've always been a gamer, and I had my own company and things. Wait, kept going. You just won't let this go, will it?
No. You just said you were married to an actress.
Yes.
So where she's staring at?
My wife, her name is Lindsay Frost. She's coming out in a movie called Collateral Damage. She plays opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger. She is the reason why she plays Arnold's wife.
Probably the last action hero.
Yeah, action movie.
I am probably the last action hero.
5'10", blonde, beautiful. I'm a very lucky man. And so she's got that movie coming out. She's on a show in the States right now called Crossing Jordan, which is a weekly television show. And she's doing a movie right now for DreamWorks called The Ring, which will be coming out sometime next year, and that's being exec produced by Walter Parks.
Okay,
and if anybody know who that is, I mean, we're talking,
Walter
you're
Parks?
talking
Wait.
Steven Spielberg's old
talking about
exec
Steven
producer.
Spielberg.
That's right.
Wait, roll the game. Let's roll. But
What are you here for?
speaking of Steven Spielberg,
Yes.
ring a bell?
Steven Spielberg. Oh, yeah.
Did you like the game?
Director. Okay, yes. I mean, Medal of Honor was created by Steven Spielberg. Let's make that very clear. He came back from his primary shooting on Saving Private Ryan, came back to the studio, and he talked to the people there and said he wanted to make a game about World War II, and that was the birth of Medal of Honor. Caleb and I had the pleasure a couple of months ago, was it, Caleb?
It was.
Of taking the game right after E3. I don't know if you guys were at E3, but
I was.
Okay, we did the D-Day level, right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
In the small cabin.
We had we built a theater, and before we knew it, there were people waiting three hours in line to see it. It was like totally amazed us. Because I would have had water at least for those people, as poor people who waited that long.
I was in that line too.
Oh, well, you should have just... Now you don't have to wait in line. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Next year.
I got so tired that I walked to the blizzards.
Oh, I don't want to hear about that. Well, that's right. There was nobody over there, because they were all at Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
Okay.
Now, anyway, we were called onto the set of Minority Report, the movie that he just finished doing with Tom Cruise. Caleb set up the computer because he had called us and said, I heard people are waiting in line for 3 hours. He saw the blurb in Newsweek. He said, Rick, I want you to come over and show me what the heck is so exciting. So Caleb and I went over, and we're waiting and waiting. You know how it is on a movie set, hurry up and wait is the old motto. And we're waiting forever, and we're going like, what is going on?
There was he.
And
Emilio Estevez.
No. and I was looking for a little role because I was an actor, and I was thinking I was going to get lucky again. And sure enough, in between takes, Steven comes walking over, smoking his big cigar. Rick, how you doing? Caleb, nice to see you. And who does he have in tow but Caleb?
He says, this is my friend George.
And we turn around, and who was it?
George Lucas.
Could you believe
Oh my
that?
God, George Lucas. George Lucas?
So here we are, Caleb and I on the set, and they'd set up like all these black scrims and stuff so we could show the game. And I'm thinking, oh God, I got to show this to, Steven Spielberg. What is he going to think? And he brings George Lucas with him. So we're like, oh man. And this is pre-alpha demo software. Anyway, Caleb, of course, as he's doing right now, does a fantastic job demoing the product. And if you guys don't know, Steven and George, they're not only do they work together sometimes, but They're friends,
They're like
but there's
this, yeah.
but there's a competition there because they push one another. You know, George does have a game company called LucasArts, and so here is Steven to show George his game,
And
Allied Assault, and so we're showing it, and George is
is making Jedi Outcast right
yes,
now, right?
right, and he says to Steven, he's looking at the game, he goes, Steven, wait a minute, this looks just like Saving Private Ryan. Thinking like Steven's going to say like, something disparaged, like, yeah, I can't. He goes, yeah, George, and I love it. And then he's going on, and we get up to the wall, and George says, wait a minute, I saw that in the movie. And he goes, yeah, so did I, but I didn't get that shot. So he was really excited about it.
So actually you made the thing Steven Spielberg is dreaming of in the game.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, Steven is all about making great product, and he encouraged us to make this. And at the end of it, he basically said to Caleb and I, and Caleb can tell you if I'm lying, but he said, Rick, I feel like the studio has taken interactive gaming to a place I never thought possible, which was the greatest compliment that I've ever had as an exec producer. So there you go.
Rick, I have some questions from our viewers for you.
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First question is from Gamesman, and he asks, what's the difference between the PC version and the PS2 version?
I can't answer that question.
Okay.
No,
and
I'm
next
only kidding.
question.
I could tell you that right now. First of all, we have two different main characters on the PS2 version. We have Jimmy Patterson, who was in the original Medal of Honor. He makes a return in Medal of Honor Frontline, and that game takes place in the backdrop of Operation Market Garden, which was Monty's push through Holland to find the underbelly of the German lines, and basically that's a story-based game that progresses through missions, but it's a continuous story. Medal of Honor PC, you play Lieutenant Mike Patterson, who's an Army Ranger, and it's a mission-based because it's the first time on the PC platform, and we wanted to give people a breadth of the war rather than introduce them and just have a very
So you can say that the
story.
PS2 version is more action-paced?
No,
Or
I would say the PS2 version is more story-based, and we're taking a bit more time in creating characters, whereas the PC version is more of an opportunity to give you a variety of what the whole war was about and more action-based,
When will the
in-your-face action.
PS2 version come out?
PS2 version will be available June 6th, D-Day, in the United
June
States,
6th.
and we're going to do a simultaneous launch here in Europe.
Okay. So, wir werden gleich noch ein paar weitere Fragen von euch beantworten, also bleibt auf jeden Fall dran. Und wir werden auch gleich noch die Schlacht an Omaha Beach sehen. Also, fettes Thema. Mit dem Rick und dem Caleb, und wir zocken jetzt sofort weiter Medal of Honor. Wir fangen jetzt an mit dem ersten Teil von der Schlacht an Omaha Beach. Ihr könnt in den Chat kommen, da bin ich nämlich jetzt auch, und könnt mir Fragen stellen, die ich dann, wenn sie gut sind, direkt weiterleite. Und I have a question from our chatters
Sure.
for you. And the question is, what about the mods from, the question comes from, wait a second, he asks from, where is it? I lost it, but the question was, what about the multiplayer? Will there any change? Will there come any changes, or will there be new mods? And what you're planning for updating the multiplayer section?
Well, we just released the tool set on the 22nd in the United States, and I'm sure it's available out here now. But as far as I can see, the mod community is alive and well. As a matter of fact, it's pretty much crazy because I happen to know already, before we even released the full version of the game, somebody had already come out and done a co-op mod for the demo version, single-player version. And I understand tonight, sitting here with you, we just learned that they've done a co-op mod on the Omaha Beach
we saw that
landing.
on AlliedAssault.net.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And already out there are new skins. There are new mods being built. There are
I
new
also
guns.
seen a blood patch, blood and gore patch.
Oh, yes.
What do you think about blood? Because I got lots of questions from people asking why there's so less blood in the game.
Well,
I think in the US version there's no more.
All right, so let me clear this up right now, because a lot of people want to know why there's no blood in the game. What you got to remember about Allied Assault is that we want to build a game that's authentic. okay? And if you know anything about soldiering and anything about these guys in World War II, here's the real deal. They were either covered with dust, covered with muck and mire, rolling in the sand and the mud, and when a bullet came in and hit a soldier, there was no splatter of blood. There was a puff, and then blood would seep out later.
Yeah.
So basically,
like we saw it in the movie.
Exactly, basically. But how I feel about it is, you don't need limbs flying through the air. You don't need blood gushing. You don't need, any stuff like that to recreate what it feels like to be a soldier in World War II. And that's what we're about, making you, the user, feel like you are down there on the ground fighting it out.
Which is pretty intense, as we
However,
see it here.
I will tell you that if you want blood in your game, all you have to do...
Download the patch, of course.
Now, of course, we didn't do that, but I mean, there are patches for everything. I saw a guy running around a coonskin cap. You know what that is? Like Daniel Boone, I swear.
Well, I have a question from Web Shadow. He asked how many missions are there at all?
In Medal of Honor, in Allied Assault, there are 6 missions, 29 levels, and it's a really robust single-player game. What we wanted to do was deliver a huge single-player experience. And aside from that, we also delivered 9 multiplayer maps, which is a lot more maps than our closest competitors delivered.
And let me think of the closest competitor. You mean Return to Castle Wolfenstein, of course. Let's let me ask you, what's your opinion about Return to Castle? I think you get the question like 100,000 times, but
I do.
Let the German viewers know.
I will tell you, I think Return to Castle Wolfenstein is a terrific arcade shooter. If that's what you want, if you want to go in and jump 15 feet in the air and do cartwheels and something that's totally kind of out there, you would buy that product. I mean, the difference between the two products is basically, we have a tendency to ground ourselves in authenticity, and we think that World War II and the background gives you a look at this.
That's great feature.
Gives you everything you could ever want in a game. Something like Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I don't think it's necessary to have women in black leather doing cartwheels. I mean, that's fun for some people, but for us, we'd prefer to just hang with.
So
us.
you focused on the most realistic scenario ever created. Yeah?
Absolutely, giving people an experience, a rich, deep experience of what it was like to be a soldier in World War II. Why don't you start it?
Okay, here I got a question from James Hatfield 09. How did you create those great sound effects from the weapons? And we just saw it on Omaha Beach. It was so real.
It's unbelievable, I know.
That's what I like more on Medal of Honor compared to Return to Castle Wolfenstein are actually also the sound effects, which are so realistic. How did you manage to make them?
Well, we have what I believe is the best sound effects team in the entire world in LA in our studio down in LA. It's run by a guy named Eric Kraber, and basically the way we get all these great sound effects is because our consultant Dale Dye, who works with Steven Spielberg on all his films, just did Band of Brothers. He takes our guys out in the field. He puts the weapons in their hands. They shoot the weapons. They feel the recoil. They know how they sound. And then Eric goes out into the field with his digital recording system, and we actually shoot the weapons. Not people, no.
Okay.
We actually shoot those weapons. Oh, we're back. Hey, Caleb. Back. Cool. We actually shoot those weapons and record them. So it's all done.
Okay.
It's all Foley. So it's actually, we're not using any
real weapons.
No, we are using real weapons,
Okay.
but we're not going out and buying our sound effects. We're creating them specifically for the game.
Cassius X wants to know where was it? Will there be a map editor on MOHAA?
It's already out. As I said earlier, we put that out on the 22nd.
Okay.
So yes, wherever you are, you can download it now. Make maps, and because I'm going to tell you something, we're going to talk about what I'm going to do for next year, because I got a game coming. And I want all those map editor guys out there, all those mod creators, to make mods, because I want to see them, because I want to do something special for them.
Okay, Jurassic Park wants to know if there are different ways to end a level. I don't know, capture a bomb or...
There are different ways to play a level.
Yeah.
There are not different ways to end a level. The
level objective will remain the same.
remains the same, but how you play it is up to you. and there are many, many different ways to play it. Right now, Caleb is standing up by the big cache in there, and these guys are going to run out. They're going to get their orders. If he wanted to, he could zip around them and go right through the trench, right, Caleb? And see if he could take it out on his own. But I wouldn't recommend doing that because these guys are going to offer some covering fire to take out the enemy up there shooting down. So if he were to run out, it'd be a little more difficult, but he could do it. And so you can play the game in any number of ways.
And what about medals? I think when I played the press version, I think sometimes I got a medal for doing something like rescuing a soldier, and sometimes I don't.
That's because you didn't find all the hidden objectives. What we're doing this time is there are certain objectives that if you complete the level and complete the objective, you'll get a medal. But on many levels, there are hidden objectives that we haven't told you about, and you have to go and find them. And then you get the extra medals. So,
Somersault has a question, and he asks how long it takes to actually play the game through. Finish the game.
Depends on how good you are. I would say an average player on medium would take, what, Caleb, 40 to 60 hours? Huh?
Yeah.
40 hours?
Yeah, it's tough.
That's pretty much, yeah. And
well, it's 29 levels.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'm just on the first church.
And it will take infinity to play the game in multiplayer.
Of course, yeah. One more question from Somersault, then we're through. Will there be an add-on or sequel?
No, we will answer
you know what? We will answer that question in the next tape. What do you say about that? Ja? Okay, also, ob es einen Nachfolger oder ein Add-on gibt, das erfahrt ihr gleich, also bleibt dran. Wir hatten natürlich auch heute wieder einen Vote für euch und diesmal ziemlich interessant, den hat der Hannes gemacht und zwar natürlich die Frage, die alle interessiert, was ist besser, Medal of Honor oder Castle Wolfenstein? Wir gucken mal aufs Ergebnis und der Rick wird das Ganze kommentieren. I just told our viewers about the vote.
Come on, baby. Come on, keep coming. All right.
It's over, so. Also, A, Medal of Honor ist real und cooler, 37%, B, Wolfenstein ist actiongeladen und cooler, 15%. Beide sind geil. Medal of Honor rockt im Singleplayer, Return to Castle Wolfenstein im Multiplayer und Medal of Honor rockt im Multiplayer und Return to Castle. So, what you saying? You won the vote.
I'll take A and D anytime, you know what I mean? At its base, it's basically we like Medal of Honor better. It doesn't surprise me, by the way.
Yeah, I thought you would say that.
But I'm happy to see that your viewers agree. I mean, that's great.
Okay, we have a little discussion here in the chat and in our forums, in our message boards, because people are saying it never takes 40 or 60 hours to play the game. So we asked Hannes. Hannes hat's durchgespielt.
My own experience was it took me 23 to 24 hours to complete it in medium.
And you would consider yourself a professional?
Yeah, sure.
I rest my case. I say an average player is going to take about 40 hours to get through the game at medium level.
Okay.
And Hannes,
yeah?
I right now, I challenge you to get through the game in hard level in 40 hours.
Okay.
Challenge you. Okay. Let me know if you can do it.
You just said it already takes 5 hours to get the beach.
The beach level in hard is very, very difficult. Sniper Town in hard, Caleb. I mean, awesome. It's 9 year. You know, it is the ultimate challenge in a first-person shooter.
Okay, but anyway, how long it takes? I think it's a great gaming experience. If it's 20 or 40 hours, it's.
And how do the difficulty levels differ from each other? Are there more enemies or are they more intelligent?
They're easy, medium, hard. And what we did was we dialed down the hits that you take, and we dial up the accuracy on the enemies in hard mode, so we make it more difficult on you. You got to shoot them more often, they got to shoot you less, basically.
Yeah, I got one more question here from Max Hitman. He asks if there will be a single-player campaign you can play as cooperation.
I think that's already available. We talked about that already.
As a patch.
Yeah, we as a company, I mean, Electronic Arts, EALA, did not create a co-op mode for this particular version of the game. Doesn't mean we won't do it in the future, but it's already available online. The mod guys have taken the game and they're offering co-op mode a la mode. What do you want me to tell you?
Okay, we just finished the last take asking you about future projects.
Yes.
So let's...
You mean, is there a future for Medal of Honor?
Will there be? I don't know.
I think so, guys, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're first to hear about it. We're going to come out next year with Medal of Honor Team Assault.
Medal of Honor Team Assault.
Yes, and it's the add-on to Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
Okay, you heard it here first.
That's
Remember
right. Hello.
that, yeah?
You heard it here first. And we're already in production, and that's going to have 3 new single-player missions, so probably 9 to 12 levels.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do 9 new maps. And I wanted to talk about the mod community. I'm looking for maps that the mod community will create that I want to actually ship with the product.
Okay.
Another 3 maps, so that I want to bump it up to 12. We're going to have, right now what we're considering doing is taking this to Italy. So we're going to want to, right now, considering Monte Cassino, so we're going to have Italian enemies, which is cool because we've always been fighting the German regulars. Now we're going to be able to fight Italian regulars. And we're also going to take it to Berlin, and we're going to race the Russians.
Okay.
In Berlin.
Okay.
To get some of the cash.
And do you know already when it will come out? You just said?
Right now we're planning to have that out ready for next Christmas.
Next Christmas.
Yeah, and some of the things we're going to do include classifications, classes for the players in multiplayer. So you can play a lieutenant, you can play a medic, you can play, and I'm going to hold back some of the other classes we're going to do. We're also going to do.
So it will be a little bit more in the direction of Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
I don't play that game, so I don't know what they're doing. But also you're going to be able to have mortar teams. You're going to be able to shoot 88s and howitzers and blow them up. And also one other special little thing, we're going to have vehicles in multiplayer. You heard it here.
Okay.
That's right.
Talking about vehicles, you just told me you're playing games, not only your own games.
Right.
What games you're playing?
Well,
in
I just finished.
free time,
I just finished Halo on the Xbox. I make first-person shooters, so obviously I was.
And how was it?
Really interested. I loved the game. I really did. I thought they did a lot of things really well. I really like the third-person view when you back out and you get to control vehicles. I thought that was really cool. I thought atmospherically it was great. I thought it was kind of slow in places and you kind of got lost in the world, but I understood that was part of gameplay, which was, trying to move around and figure out, your path. And
do you have
cool.
some more to show?
Yeah, we can pick something else up.
We have 2 more minutes to show stuff, so go on.
Get going.
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
This one's good.
I have a question which interests me very much. Is what did you change on the engine? Because I thought when I play Return to Castle Wolfenstein, it reminds me very, very much on Quake 3 Team Arena and also the game feeling. But when I played Medal of Honor, I know it's the same engine, but it plays different.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, first of all, one of the things we wanted to do was give you a real feel for the expanse of war. And to do that, we need an engine that could do really big open areas, and the Quake 3 engine can't do that. So we had to basically rewrite the terrain engine, and so there's a completely new terrain engine in the product. Also, we rewrote the animation system and the scripting engine because we have a lot of scripts in the game, a lot of scripts that give you a real sense of the area being populated and a very cinematic. You saw one at the beginning of this level when the lieutenant said, "Hey, buddy, go in, and you're going to see one coming up that's really cool." Is when Caleb gets upstairs.
So I think the amount of scripts in the Omaha Beach level would put Half-Life to shame.
Yes, I think there's probably more scripts in that level than in their entire game. And then the AI is all completely new. I mean, we had to, that's one of the hallmarks of Medal of Honor is really great AI, something that our competitors don't spend a lot of time on, by the way.
Rick, the last question to you is now, when will the German version will be released, when it's in the stores?
It's going to be available February 8th here in Germany, and we're playing it now, so it is done.
It's done.
It's a matter of getting it in the trucks and to the stores, and everybody be able to go out and pick this up on the 8th of February.
Okay, thanks Rick for being here. It was great.
Oh,
it was fun.
You.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
It's really a lot of fun.
Und thanks Caleb.
Thank you.
Und ich hoffe, euch hat es auch Spaß gemacht. Wir werden natürlich, wenn das Spiel rauskommt, das auch nochmal unter die Lupe nehmen und kräftig testen. Am 8. Februar ist es in Läden. Ihr sollt es euch natürlich kaufen. Macht Spaß und das war's von uns. Bis morgen.